I was invited to a wedding, several states away. Flights were out of the question. The prices were ridiculous, and I wasn't exactly swimming in spare cash. But honestly, I didn't mind. There's something romantic about road trips. The long drives, the open skies, the kind of freedom you just don't get on a plane. And besides, there were a few places I'd been meaning to visit along the way. A personal detour, so I packed light. Just the essentials: a duffel bag, some snacks, a thermos of coffee, and a playlist I'd been curating for weeks. At sunrise, I hit the road. The sky was still painted in that soft lavender haze that only exists for a few minutes before morning fully wakes up. It felt like the beginning of something good. The miles flew by. I'd roll down the windows now and then to feel the wind. I stopped a few times, once at a viewpoint overlooking a canyon, once in a tiny town where the diners still used handwritten menus. Everything felt slow in a good way, intentional. The hum of the engine, the rhythm of the tires on the pavement, it was almost meditative. But day eventually gave way to night. I had pushed farther than I meant to. The glow of the sun had long since faded, and now the road was lit only by the beams of my headlights, cutting through a sea of darkness. My back hurt. My eyes burned. That calm, free feeling from earlier had shifted into something heavier. I needed to stop. I needed fuel, both for the car and for myself. So I got off the highway, hoping to find a gas station. Maybe a motel if I was lucky. The road I turned onto felt immediately different. No streetlights, no road signs, just a narrow two-lane road disappearing into thick trees. The silence was absolute, so thick it made your ears ring. The kind of silence that makes you hyper-aware of your own breath. After about 5 miles, right when I was about to give up and turn back, I saw it. A flicker in the distance. A single neon light stuttering in and out like it was struggling to stay alive. Relieved, I turned toward it. It was the smallest gas station I'd ever seen. One lonely pump. A building that looked like it belonged to another decade. Paint peeling from the walls. A rusty ice machine out front. No other cars. No other people. The place looked like a still from an old horror movie, but I was too tired to care. As I filled up the tank, I pulled out my phone. No signal. Not even one bar. Just that little red X taunting me from the top of the screen. I walked up to the building, hoping someone might be inside. Maybe even a payphone. But it was locked. Empty. No light. No movement. No sign of life. I got back in the car and pulled away. I turned right, pretty sure that was the way I came, but almost immediately it didn't feel right. The trees looked different, closer somehow, like they were leaning in. Had I missed a turn? It was impossible to tell. The deeper I drove, the more I felt like I was sinking. Darkness swallowed everything. My high beams barely made a dent in it. And then, finally, a sign. A faded highway symbol. Relieved, I turned toward it, ready to get back on track. But as I rounded the bend, I slammed on the brakes. A massive truck sat sideways in the road. Flashing lights blinked slowly, almost lazily. A big sign read, "Road closed." There was no one inside the truck. No workers, no equipment. Just the sign and the blinking lights, like some kind of warning. A detour sign pointed off to the side. Another narrow road. I hesitated, but I didn't have a choice. So I followed it. This road was even worse. The trees formed a tunnel overhead, blocking out what little moonlight there was. I felt like I was being swallowed, and then suddenly the road just ended. No signs, no barriers, just trees. Thick, tangled, endless. I sat there for a moment, my engine idling. The air inside the car suddenly felt cold. I checked my phone again. Still no signal. And that's when I heard it. Rustling. From the woods. Low at first, like wind through branches. But it wasn't wind. Shapes. Moving. Figures stepping out from between the trees. Not running, not stumbling. Just walking. Slowly. Deliberately. each one holding something long, metal, sharp, axes, machetes. I don't know, I didn't want to find out. I threw the car into reverse so fast the tires screeched. Something inside me screamed to leave. Now, and just as I turned the wheel, I heard it. A clank, metal on metal. I looked into the rearview mirror and froze. A figure was running after the car. Fast. Too fast. One hand reached for the back door. They didn't speak, didn't yell, just reached. I swerved back onto the road, tires spitting gravel. My heart was pounding so hard I could barely think. Every tree looked the same, every turn unfamiliar. And when I got back to where that detour sign had been, it was gone. I drove in circles. Eventually I found the gas station again. Same peeling paint, same silent building, still no people, still no signal. It felt like I had looped back into some twisted version of the night. I tried other roads. Each one led nowhere, no traffic, no lights, just black pavement under a starless sky. The silence was unbearable. Even the hum of the engine couldn't drown it out. And then, finally, the sky began to change. A pale gray bled into the black. The trees slowly revealed their shapes, and just like that, the highway appeared again, like it had always been there. My phone buzzed. Signal. I pulled up the nearest hotel, slammed on the accelerator, and didn't look back. I got to the hotel just after 6 a.m. I didn't care about the price. I just needed a door I could lock. When it clicked shut behind me, I exhaled for the first time in hours. I've told this story to a few people. Some roll their eyes, some get quiet, but I know what I saw, and I know how it felt. Some places don't show up on a map, and maybe they're not supposed to.